It was around 6:30 a.m. I was in the tent, I was resting. We were in a festival that we were waiting for so long. We started hearing what we thought was fireworks that the music festival arranged. When I opened the tent, I realized chaos was in front of me. Hundreds of people were running towards me. When I looked up in the sky, I saw hundreds of rockets above me. That's when I started panicking. All our friends, we were 10 friends there, we all gathered up right next to our tent, and we split into cars to run out of there. When we got to the main road, the security told us to go only to the right. We started driving, and that's when we realized that if we continue, there's a terrorist attack. We found a shelter, which was a small cement box with no door, and around 30, 40 people inside. We were 5 friends inside, including my best friend, Norel, her sister, Roya, her boyfriend, Amit, and my other friend and their cousin, Gal. When we were there, we didn't even know that they were coming towards our shelter, but my friend texted me, "They're coming, get out of there." That's when I met another girl called Michelle. She was having a panic attack, so I helped her breathe. And I asked her name. She said Michelle, and I said, "Let's sit down. There's more air if we sit down." So us 4, me, Noel, Roya, and her sat down. The next thing I heard was "they're coming." And that's when 30 people fell on top of me. Everyone wanted to save their life, and they wanted to get to the back of the shelter. I don't remember much after that, but I remember waking up and losing contact with my friends, only wanting to hear their voice. My head was laying on top of a chest of someone, and they were breathing. That's when I asked her what's her name, and she said Michelle. I said, "Hi, it's me, it's Noah. I helped you 5 minutes ago." Next thing I know, they're throwing 5 grenades inside. Body parts are flying around. And all I hear around me is people suffocating, people on top of another, and a lot of shots from within. That's when I realized there's a huge body on top of me, and his head is on my throat, and fire is starting in the entrance. It only came to my knowledge yesterday that the fire was actually the bodies that they burned in the entrance of the shelter. I inhaled that smoke, and I fought for my life for 3.5 hours. I thought about my family, and I had one question, and it was, why do I deserve to suffocate until I die? The shots didn't stop, and I lost contact with my friends, and I realized I wouldn't hear from them anymore. That's when I got rescued after 3 hours. Some voices that I heard said that they said, "I'm going outside, I'd rather take a bullet in my head than suffocate." When once there was a little quiet, we heard them going out, and then we heard shots. We realized they didn't survive. And once I got rescued, I reunited with Michelle in the hospital, realizing only after that she had a bullet in her back the entire time, and she didn't even know. Norel, my best friend, and her sister were American citizens. They lived in LA for 9 years, and they loved America. It was 4 days that we hadn't heard from them, and we understood that it either meant that they were hostage or murdered. And in what world does a mother need to pray that her kids are hostage so that they're alive and not murdered? It's fine. I came here for the memory of my best friends and all the people that were murdered and everyone that is being held hostage and everyone that survived, and for these soldiers and every person living in Israel. And even though that on the outside I don't look like I have scars, and I might have only a fracture in my elbow, but the biggest scar that I have is in my soul. That my best friends, Noel, Amit, which is her boyfriend, and my dear friend and her sister Roya, aren't here anymore. And just like my soul is aching, all of Israel is aching, and their hearts are broken.